Well, sludge has also a long history, just like the wastewater and also the flooding problems in the Netherlands. But there is a huge amount of sludge produced every day. And if you have available land everywhere and you can spread it wherever you want and it's no concern to anybody, then you can have very easy disposal routes to get rid of that material. But in a very small country with a lot of people together, the concentration is so high that it's not a question if you have to treat all those sludge, but how can you treat the sludge in the best effective way. And one of the first things which is important with sludge, if you look at it, it's just a big flow of muddy material. It contains 99% of water and only 1% of dry solids. So that's where it starts. So the first big step is always worthwhile to do is volume reduction. This first step can increase or decrease the volume up to 7-8 times already in the first simple, cheap, economical step. After that, the idea was let's also digest the sludge. So on almost 70% of all the treatment plants in the Netherlands, the sludge is digested as well. It's an economical factor because you produce a lot of biogas, and that biogas is in gas engines transferred into electricity, and that electricity is then again used in the treatment plant itself. So you cover a lot of the energy you consume, which is enormous of course on the treatment plants, by producing your own energy again. So this is a very effective reuse. Then you also have the question of, and then? Well, then is the disposal of the sludge, but also there it's actually impossible to dispose any sludge without a dewatering step. So we at least need a dry product to dispose. Regulations in the Netherlands are now so strong that it is hardly possible anymore to use it for soil conditioner, for landfill, for agriculture purposes. Those routes actually are stopped by the government, and the only solution we have now is that we use sludge. We put it in an incinerator, or we use it as a burning material in power plants or in the cement industries. Those are the more sustainable routes for the future. The amount of January, well, if we look at it in terms of recovery of energy, because the future is that we try to find sustainable disposal routes. And that means on one hand also what I already mentioned about the routes of incineration, etc. But secondly, energy production is very important because energy is a costly product. So if you can make it from a waste flow, which actually is not a waste flow, but it contains valuable material, you can transfer waste material into valuable energy and also electricity. And the programs in the Netherlands are now at this moment that we can cover about 30 to 40% of all the energy consumption of the treatment plants. We now have plans that we will increase that amount up to 70 or 80%, and we try to fixate in 2030 or 40 that we have 100% coverage of the energy production for the energy consumption. So those are the challenges for the next coming 10 and 20 years. How are we going to achieve that? The government is helping by demanding that we increase the efficiency with at least 2% per year. So that means in 10 years already 20% on top of that 40% we already achieve. In my water board we already achieve, because the board has said we are going on a strategy especially for energy recovery. We are now at this moment already on 50%, and we try to achieve in 2020 already 70%. So the goal of 100% is reaching.